All right. Okay. Good evening. How is everyone? We got quite a few people in here already, it looks like. Well, six people, six. That's what we like to see here. Mystic Lavender White Wolf, welcome. Man, welcome. Mysterious Type, welcome. Luna, welcome. And Anubis, welcome. Pog. Aren't those the little bottle cap like things they had in the 80s? Let's see. Finally, I'm making it to 2 streams in a bloody roll. Yep, and hopefully this one will be without technical difficulties. Fingers crossed, right? Speaking of which, Friday, I ain't got no clue what happened. We never did figure that one out. I apologize. Luckily, it waited till the very end of the stream. Anyways, I hope everyone has had a wonderful weekend. I know it has been busy around this place, but we definitely have fun. Oh, and I'm actually planning on just passing out and getting some good sleep later. So, yay. Let's see what we got. And tonight, of course, got me a good fresh pot of hot coffee going. As always, running on coffee. And Peachy, welcome. Glad to see you made it. Yeah, they might have been. They might have been. If they are, they ain't admitting it. Though usually they're quick to admit it if they do screw with me. Anubis, that would be freaking awesome. I'm not sure many coffee companies would sponsor me. I don't know how that works really. So, I may reach out to one or two of them once the channel gets bigger. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Bernaldus, hey man, you made it. Okay, so I have actually had a pretty busy weekend. As y'all know, Saturday's usually my day off, which in the sense that I wasn't hanging around Discord and recording videos, I took a day off. But I did actually do a lot of reading, some ritual work, some research. Even reached out and worked with one of the Lords of Winter that is going to be part of the path working. So me and him's actually been hanging out, getting a lot done on that. And I started working with Lilith and Samiel a bit too, and catching up with them on the Clefothic working. And they've really been laying down some wisdom. They really have. And I actually spent most of my day in the car today. Yay, that's always fun, right? But they tagged along for most of that trip as well. So they were constantly yammering in my ear from the back seat. So that was pretty cool. Other than that, it's just been me fighting traffic and rain. Let's see, Anubis. Are Lucifer, Lilith and Lucifer married, or is it something I misread? You have to understand okay, the concept of marriage and stuff isn't really necessarily a multiversal concept. That's very much a human concept. But as far as, are they a couple? Are they mates? Are they in some form of a relationship or something? Yes, but Lilith has other entities that she also has relationships with, as does Lucifer. For example, Samiel. Lilith and Samiel have a very, very hot relationship, and I mean, they're true to each other, they're loyal, but there's also that lack of jealousy and possessiveness, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's the whole paperwork of marriage it's really more of a human thing. Let's see here. Yeah, the hurricane hit landfall, so naturally it's going to cast up here, and we're going to get all the rain off of it too. Pretty normal. Unfortunately, everybody around here thinks you can drive 80 on the interstate with heavy downpour and it's not going to change anything. And then they don't figure out why they wreck. Then I just kind of drive by laughing at them. So yeah. All right. But that's been about the bulk of my weekend, really. Uh, it seems like there was something else that happened, but it's just been a blur for me this weekend. It really has. So, you guys up to it? You got any questions? Let me know. We'll go ahead and start taking questions. Any funny stories? Uh, yeah. The entities of the multiverse, they're very, I guess you'd say, broader in their ideals of what a relationship is. But then again, they also don't have to worry about some of the things we humans do. So that also makes sense. You have to take that into account as well. But I'm not sure they would use the word married under any circumstances. I've not actually heard one use that word. I have heard spouse or wife or something like that, but never married. And I just remembered I forgot to turn my phone off. So before it reminds me the hard way, we'll go ahead and get that shut down. Anubis. Uh, Drake, ego. I remember you saying it's lessened or weakened for other entities. Could you explain that? Yeah, many other entities don't have the issue and problems overcoming the ego that we do. They simply act as they choose to act and want to act based upon what their goals are. Humans do not do this at all. We will actually have a goal in our life and we still won't act on it based on our ego because we don't want to give something up. Um, and we don't want to make the changes to actually pursue it, even if it is our goal. Our ego keeps us very attached to a very specific ideology and structure and comfort zone. And we don't want to move outside that. And we're not willing to risk it ourselves or our comfort zone. And therefore, we are not going to make the progress that we can make. And that's one of the things. Other entities don't have that per se. Even entities that seem to project an ego at times, when they actually do have a goal, they'll go after the goal. And if they have to make a change in what they're doing at the time in order to achieve that goal, they'll do so. Humans don't do that. That's one reason any entity that deals with change or something is so hard for humans. And we often even refer to them as evil or bad or dark because we don't like those changes. Even though it's the exact thing we're asking for that they're doing, we don't like it. Let's see. Mystic Lavender White Wolf. I heard Lilith was before Eve. Correct. That she, real mother, heard this from another witch. Not sure how true it is. There is a section in the Jewish religion where Lilith was actually created alongside Adam, not from Adam. And she wouldn't submit is the general view of that story. So she actually left Eden, and then Eve was created when Adam became lonely. Um, it doesn't appear in a lot of places. So how accurate or true one way or the other, I don't want to get into that per se. but I have heard that. Yeah, mate, pairing, partner, Giovanna. Lilith and Lucifer was the question originally. They was asking if Lilith and Lucifer were married, so that is in the context that I used the word mate. Consort is also a common term used amongst deities, yes. See, Anubis, I see how could you break the ego? How can you break the ego, or is it something that you achieve when you die or leave your vessel? Um, which, by the way, Giovanna, welcome. Good to see you again. Talking Snake, Cassie, and Elizabeth, welcome as well. Ego is not something you break. It's not even something you get rid of. Even when you ascend, you don't get rid of it. It's not about getting rid of it. That's not the point. In fact, that's the opposite of the point. The point is self mastery, self knowledge. You have to gain the ability to master yourself, to be willing to push yourself and to be able to pursue what you need to pursue and let go of what you need to let go in your pursuits and be willing to make those changes. And you have to be willing to do it knowingly and willingly. And therein lies the big problem. You don't break ego. You don't get rid of it. If you were to get rid of ego, you can't ascend because then you haven't mastered anything. You just basically put in a cheat code and it's like, well, I can't do it. I'm not strong enough. So we're just going to get rid of this thing. And anyways, so if you can't master yourself, thus ego, you're not going to make it up the stairs, so to speak. See, Talking Snake. Hello, brother. I recently purchased a supposed haunted doll that is supposed to have a fairy attached to it. Have you ever done something like this before? I don't know what made me buy it. LOL. I have heard of spirit dolls and whatnot. And different people do work with different spirits. The fairy ones, they're a little more on the rare side because I'll say it's hard to know whether there's a fairy in there or not, though people do like to use the fairies because saying it's a fey spirit tends to make people more comfortable. Don't know why, because fey spirits are some of the meanest. But I do not make items and sell like that per se. I do have a few vessels in the house that have been crafted for entities, but the entity's not bound to it. It can move in and out as it chooses. And most of them are actually vessels for any entity that wants to inhabit it. Also, exactly, TC. Without ego, we don't grow. It's a necessary, even when you move on. Kabah, hey man, doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Had a good weekend, and hope you have as well. And thank you for joining us. I got a dragon's eye pendant as a gift. Does it have protection energy as well? The symbol in and of itself will not produce energy unless you put it into it. That is actually a common misconception that people think that the symbol is going to automatically have power. So they'll buy a pendant and hey, the pendant's good to go. You actually have to put the energy into it and charge it. So you have a dragon's eye, actual like eyeball pendant, not the dragon's eye symbol. Like, oh crap, it ain't behind me tonight. Oh, wouldn't that have been handy to have behind me tonight? You would still need to charge it, but you could easily charge it for protection, and dragons are usually associated with protection. So it should take protection energy really, really easily. That said, most things associated to dragons, they take any energy really well, so it should be easy to go. And honestly, even if you just view it as protective while you wear it, it's going to slowly charge with that protective energy without you doing anything. That's one of the nice things about it. That's why the symbols that we view as protective are so valuable to us. Christian, hello. And give 1 second. It's getting hot in here, and I, for some reason, seem to have accidentally turned my fan off. All right, there we go. Uh, let's see, Reynolds. That's where the ideal of faith behind the symbol gives it power. Like an older vampire myth, the symbol is just an object. That is correct. That is actually correct, Reynolds. Yes, you actually have to put the energy into it. I do not have any necklaces. And I've been asked this once or twice, and if I can find me a jewelry maker to do them, I really want to. Though that is a project we're still looking at. I do have the Dragon's Eye seal on a canvas that can be bought at workingdragonmystic.com. You can check out our merch section. So we do have like canvas arts that you can hang up in your room of the Dragon's Eye seal, as well as we have a beach towel style altar cloth that you can use to lay down in front of you. And we have the massive wall hanging that's pretty much as big as this thing you see behind me that you can actually use as a meditation, a ritual circle, or even use it for journey work in gate work. So we do have those, and we also offer it in stickers, which is handy because you can put that in your journals and stuff. Which actually I do have a. So, like you can see, that's one of the stickers that I've got stuck in that journal. But as of this time, I have not yet found a jeweler to work with that I can afford, I should say. I found a guy, but he wants to charge me like $50 per pendant at my cost, which means you guys would be paying 80 plus bucks per pendant. And I'm trying to go with affordable. That's one thing. Everything I try to make it affordable. Oh, and we do have coffee cups with the Dragon's Eye seal on it as well. And this is an artistic representation of the Dragon's Eye seal in that one. You can see that. Which that is also in a canvas as well. So if any of you happen to know a jeweler that will make these things and make it affordable, shoot me a message. Let me know. I'll give him a call. All right. Any other questions? We got 20 people in here and only 10 likes. If you're in here, smash the like button. Helps the channel out a lot. It really does. It lets YouTube know y'all like what we're doing, and they keep sharing it. Yeah, now if I can just get them to do necklaces, we'll be kicking it, won't we? Okay, Mystic, I'll have to check my mailbox because I didn't get the notification. Oh, my phone's off. I'll check on that, Mystic, because I did not get the notification. So I will check. You were supposed to send. You said you were sending it to Facebook, correct? So I'll check there. Elizabeth, when it comes to ectoplasm, I'll be honest. In all my time doing different paranormal investigations and the like, I have not actually encountered it, nor know anyone who has in any tangible way. The only existence of it we know of comes from the photographs that we know at least 90% for sure were faked. So at this point in time, I'm inclined to think it's more of a trick. Um, but I have seen entities affect the material realm quite a bit, just never leave any residue behind that would be equated as ectoplasm. Let's see here. Well, are there any dragon chants to use, like to send to our personal dragons? Honestly, if you're working with like your guardian dragon or your co-magician, there isn't the there's an incantation or chant in the Dragon Magic 101 course, which is Draconis Balash Lux Tenebris, and that will work with any dragon. But if you're just working with your guardian and you're wanting to use a chant or something to connect with them, just intone their name that they give you. So, for example, like the ruler of Earth, Terrafana, you could easily just intone her name as the chant over and over, going Terrafana, something like that. I'm sorry, my I have been doing rituals, so I am not good at intoning right now. My throat is cracking. But you could easily do something like that. And I know some of those names are really hard to intone, so you kind of got to experiment with it and find your rhythm. But you'll find at what pitch you can intone it, how long you can intone it, and where you need the ups and the downs to be with some experimentation. That'd be the way to go. Facebook message. Thank you, Mystic. I'll check that after stream. Thank you. Anubis, are there any entities that would actually enjoy being a pet? None that I know of. Most of them are going to get pretty pissy about that concept. Talking snake, can you have an intimate relationship with a spirit? Oh Lord, the amount of times I get this question. You can. It's there's even people who have married, quote unquote, married certain entities. And again, it depends on how you would use that word intimate. So you could go all the way to the far side, or you can go to the very deep, connective, intimate friendship or intimate caring relationship. But it is doable. But it is going to be on the astral realm side. So don't expect them to take physical form in the physical realm and be your partner. That's not something that happens. And I know that sounds crazy that I have to explain that, but people have actually asked me that. I get that email at least twice a week. Let's see, Giovanna Becker. Is it unusual for someone to have a storm dragon as a co-magician? Not as uncommon as you would think, because when your co-magician actually takes the job of co-magician, they leave the element that they work with, or that they were last working with, I should say, because they can change elements. They're not hard set into any element. And they actually take on kind of a universal element job, because they have to be able to work in all the elements in order to work with you and teach you what they need to teach you. But they will present generally as that last element they was in. So it's not that unusual, but the co-magician will not actually be the same as confronting a storm dragon head on. That's one of the reasons they can do it. Because if you were to just be starting out and try to confront a storm dragon, your whole life's being thrown in the blender and they're just tap dancing on the frappe button. And clearly that's not what your co-magician is going to be doing. So it is doable and it is possible and it happens. Let's see, the idea of being owned and restricted would never be appealing to an entity. That is correct, Ronaldus. Very few entities, okay, I can't think of any. Entities are big on the being owned thing. Let's see here what we got. Mystic Learning. Have a very strong intuitive ability, sometimes too strong. Other than meditation, how can I get better at that ability? Wait. You want to get better at something you think you're too strong at already? I'm not sure I understand the question, Mystic Lavender. I don't. But generally, the best way to get better at intuitive abilities is to use them and to train them. So there's a lot of intuitive flashcard exercises you can do. For example, lay down a grid of cards or start with like 3 or 4 and actually try to fill the card, fill what's under it, and flip it and get your accuracy up. And as your accuracy grows, increase the number of cards there until you're building a grid and you're flipping those over. And eventually you'll get to the point where you're having to lay down all 52 and you keep working on it. I don't personally know anybody who gets 100% on that. Doesn't mean they're not out there somewhere, but it does take practice. Let's see, Hunter the Alchemist. Do you know what school of magic would be most correlated to the co-magician of a hawk? I know it's shamanic, but where should I be looking for more info? Co-magician is a term that's used inside dragon magic. So if you're talking like hawk medicine and the shamanic style and practices of it, right off the top of my head, I don't. I mean, most of the shamanism that I worked in is Norse shamanism, and the animal is more of a spirit that works directly with you. You still work with the entirety of the system. So, not 100% sure on that one, my man. Have you ever met any spiritual humans who actually made you scared or a bit anxious? No, I actually really haven't. Um, I don't really get spooked by people. I've seen enough crap in my life these days that people don't spook me. And that's with me knowing just how bad people can be. But and some of you in the Discord server know what I'm talking about as far as my past goes. But I really can't say I have. Most of what I found out is the people who are worth their salt and magic, they aren't boasters and they're out to start trouble. So no reason to be afraid of them. And the ones that are up on a soapbox yipping and yapping and yelling and trying to spew threats, they're not worth worrying about anyhow. Arabian Princess, hello. Radu, welcome. Young Lion, welcome. Jacob, welcome. And Halloween, welcome. We got a bunch of people jumping in here tonight. So, first time I get to see you live. Hi there. Well, my man, welcome. Glad you can make it. Hopefully, I keep up to the hype. Some nights I do better than others. Always afraid of the camera, though. See, sometimes it seems like it's out of control. Like I can say something will happen without really meaning for it to happen, and it just does. Yeah, that really starts happening as a practitioner in general. You just seem to know when things are going to happen or what. It's not necessarily that you're manifesting it, you're just seeing it before it happens. So, like when you look at divinations, most people think divinations, I need a tool and all this. The goal for divinations is actually to be able to just reach into the ether and pull the information out you need. That is the ultimate goal. And it's exhausting to do it, but it is the ultimate goal. And what you're doing in those cases, more than likely, is actually doing that. You're grabbing that information out, even without a divination tool. And it takes some getting used to, but it's also a lot of fun. Actually, today, in fact, there was a traffic jam, and I made the joke. I was like, I just know it. I know it. It's one of these stupid sailors driving like an idiot in the rain, trying in a hurry to get home. And sure enough, we got up there. Guess what it was? Not kidding. Not even kidding. Let's see, Hunter the Alchemist. So I have a hawk that I can transition my consciousness into, used as an entity. I am one with the hawk, so I'm more of a spiritual arm of me, I guess. That I have had. That I have had, though it tends to be more with ravens with me. And I'm able to do this with pretty much any raven that actually hangs around the house. But there is two particular ravens that, on the other side that always hangs around me, and I'm able to work with them in that way. And they've been companions of mine now for 20 years or so. So it really depends on your practice and how you utilize them. For me, they are just that. They're companions. Yes, I can essentially ride them and, piggyback off of them through the astral if I want. Don't really tend to do that as much anytime because I'm at the point where I can just shapeshift at will. So in the astral, it's no real reason. But due to that connection, I can also shift my consciousness to ravens and crows in the vicinity, which is really handy when somebody's knocking on your door and you want to know who it is, but you also can't get to the door right away. Halloween says 26 watchers, but 19 likes. Ooh, she caught you, everybody. Let's get those likes up because we got to get this channel going. Ooh, 30 watchers. Wow, I'm popular. You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining me on Sunday. I did not know I was this popular of a way to end your weekend. But do smash that like button. It helps the channel out a lot. Also, about that like button and helping the channel out, we are still running the 5K challenge. If this channel can hit 5,000 subscribers by November 1st morning, I get up. My wife gets to put me in whatever get up, dress up, makeup, wig combo she wants, as long as it's Facebook friendly, or not Facebook. Oh dear God, YouTube friendly. And I have to do a live stream in whatever god awful costume she picks, people. And when I logged on here, we were over 3,600. You guys are doing amazing. And you got me worried because I'm a man of my word. But you got me worried that I'm actually going to have to do this. But hit that like button and share the videos. It really does help. It makes YouTube present the videos to more people. They see the channel, they subscribe. And I am very appreciative of all you all do to support the channel and help us out here. It's awesome. You guys are great. And for those of you who keep giving my wife ideals, she's enjoying them. I'm not sure I am, but I am a man of my word. Also, with the 5K challenge, if we hit that, we've got 4 people in the Discord that are wanting to donate a Dragon Magic 101 video course. So if we hit the 5K, we will also be giving out 4 free Dragon Magic 101 courses. Remember that as well. Don't want to forget that because those people have been very generous to offer that. All right. Okay. We got a lot of comments in here. I may have missed a few. If I did, I apologize. If you have a super important question, we do have the super chats. You can make a small donation. It'll flash it up real big on the screen. Make sure my dummy rear end doesn't miss that. Let's see. Animal Man asks, is there any reason for shape shifting? Depends on how you use it. Some people just use it for transportation and locomotions within the astral. But honestly, one of the better abilities of it is to shapeshift into an animal, and actually learn to how the animal acts, how it reacts, how it hunts, all of its skill sets, why it does these things. There's a lot of wisdom within those animals that can be gleaned through shapeshifting. See, Mystic says, it just really surprises me sometimes. My mother even has the ability, I don't want to say it's genetic, even though we do have a magical bloodline. Yeah, I mean, certain family lines, I mean, like even musical talent can be almost genetic to some people, they think. So you do see certain talents and things run through families pretty easily. Let's see here. Hunter is my hawk. Uh, Hunter the Alchemist. Hunter is my hawk. Retina is the dragon. Dark and light. I love to just share my info. Thank you for the guidance. Oh, no problem. No problem. It's always lovely to hear people's experiences. It really is, my man. Or lady, actually. I don't know one way or the other with them. So if I misuse that, I apologize. Boost these likes, Bernaldus. Yes, Bernaldus. I know you're one of the ones that already has costume ideals for my wife and what she should dress me in. Yeah, Jacob, it's actually less than 2,000 more subs. If you get 2,000 more, we're going to blow past the goal. You guys are doing amazing. Bernaldus, we're just going to ignore you on that. We're going to move on down a little bit. Hey, Bo, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Luna, she's enjoying the ideals. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes, the Dragon Magic 101 courses will be determined by a raffle. Bernaldus is correct. I thought I said drawing in there. If I didn't, I apologize. Bernaldus is correct. Which he's one of the ones donating, so obviously he should know something about it. Anubis, Drake must be the perfect princess. I don't even know how I would qualify as a princess or perfect. I mean, we did just release the I saw, I got blowed up shirt and coffee cup for a reason. See, Jacob Beavers, do you get the reaction time after shape shifting in the astral? Yes, actually, you can. You do get the reaction time, though. Actually, it's weird because at the same time, your consciousness, if you don't fully shift over, can actually slow them down, but you'll know you're slowing them down. It's really weird. Arabian Princess asks, asking different deities for the same thing, yay or nay? If you're talking about lore, information, and knowledge, I'd say yay, because you're going to get different points of view. You got to understand these entities do have a point of view, even if they're all knowing, all seeing, and all that. They still have a point of view that is distinctly theirs, and because just like they have their own personality, and that personality is going to shade that point of view. So, yeah, I actually often do ask many entities the same questions and get their viewpoint on it. I find that it gives you a greater picture of the overall wisdom of the multiverse, in my personal opinion. Now, that said, if you're asking for them to manifest something, that's hit or miss. That could be yay or nay because some entities, they might get a little bitchy if you're up in there and you're like, okay, I need you to do this for me. And they're like, trust me, I got this. And then you go ask someone else, they might be like, wait, didn't you trust me? Um, so on that one, you kind of have to weigh the personality type because many of them won't care. It's like, here, all right, I'll get to work on this for you. And you go ask another one, I'll get to work on it for you. Now they're sharing the load. They don't mind that. I hope that makes sense, Arabian Princess. Well, keep on pouting, Bernaldus. It's all good. Pout away, my man. Halloween, I specifically told her to hint it. Yes, you did. Oh, wait, you DM'd her? Oh, bloody hell. Oh, no, you're not even sorry. That stuff don't come off for weeks. Oh, man. I'll remember that Halloween. I will remember this. I'm a pretty princess post Halloween shirt would be epic in my opinion. Oh dear God. Oh Lord. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see how the I saw I got blowed up stuff that y'all asked for does. Let's see if we get a few of those moved and sold. Anubis, I'll see you dangerous magical people later. Have a good evening. Anubis, you take it easy and have a wonderful week. Thank you for ending your weekend with us. It's always nice to come in here, have a few laughs, close out the weekend with friends, and some good conversation and questions. I need a refill. I'm always funnier when the coffee hits. Or dumber, I don't know which. Let's see here, Mystic Lavender. White Wolf. Oh, I'm still voting for Jessica Rabbit, the red. Oh my God. You know, I'm not even gonna lie. When we had that mechanical malfunction Friday and the video didn't upload for replay, I was upset. And then about 10 minutes of pouting, I realized the Jessica Rabbit comment's not in there no more. And now here it is again. Thanks, Mystic. And what's worse, I'm pretty sure my wife is watching this right now. Oh Lord, with all the gray in my goatee, ooh, that ain't coming out anytime soon. See, Bernaldo, same with instincts for the animals. It's like driving down the highway, pushing both the gas and the brake. Yeah, it really is, Bernaldo. It's you kind of you and the instincts of the animal are both in there. And the more you give yourself over to the shape shifting experience, the more you're going to come in tune to those instincts. But the less you give yourself over, the more you're actually going to interfere with the animal. It's a pretty cool experience. Arabian Princess, thanks. That made a lot of sense. You're welcome. You are welcome. Thank you for the question. It was a good question, actually. Alice and Susanna. I apologize if I didn't do well on that one. Alice, love the dragon videos. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Um, I'm honestly, yeah. Those videos have been doing really well. I did not realize how many people were just looking for good functional information on dragons and dragon magic. So I consider myself blessed to be able to share it, and I'm glad you're enjoying the channel. Let's see, Luna. Well, time to call Loki and inform him that we really like. Come on, do we really have to get him involved in this? I don't think so. Let's see, Giovanni Becker. I read somewhere, I think it was in one of DJ Conway's books, that there are dragons incarnated as humans. I thought this was a strange concept. What are your thoughts on this? Okay, this is let's see, how would you put it? This is a red button topic. This is easily a red button topic, Giovanna, because by and large, when you start working with dragons, you're going to quickly find out they have no desires to incarnate on the physical realm for many reasons. That said, they also make it very clear that if they incarnate on the physical realm, they lose all draconic properties and become 100% human. There's nothing draconic about them. So, technically speaking, one could say there are dragons incarnated on the physical realm. But we'll never know it because they're not going to show up as dragons in any shape, form, or fashion. But most dragons wouldn't want to do this. Now, why is it such a red button topic? Because you do have a lot of people who claim the status of draconic otherkin, and it's not something that's fully understood. So if you say dragons don't incarnate, they get twisted and a bent, and they want to rage on you. And I know everyone has their belief system and their ideals and their views, and I'm not saying that other kin don't exist. I'm just saying we don't fully understand it well enough to actually, start raging at each other over it. I think more research needs to be done. But speaking with the dragons, like I said, they did say that clearly dragons, if they choose, though very rare and very unlikely, would they do it? They would be 100% human in every way. And how the other kin concept works, we don't know. And it's every time I've talked with the dragons about it, they talk about draconic power, not draconic blood or genetics. And they are very big on separating those two. So what my next goal is when I get more time to work in the draconic realms on this topic is to try and find out where that draconic power and reasoning for it is coming from, since it isn't actually genetic. And why it's there, but not a dragon, if that makes sense. But it is a red button topic. So for anyone who thinks they're a dragon incarnate, please don't rage at me, please. I will just delete the comments, because I try to keep the comment section civil. Now, if you want to give me your data, your viewpoints, so I can add it to my research and possibly reach a more detailed conclusion, please do that. That's a completely different thing. I don't view that as raging. Useful dialect and conversations, very much needed. Just so we're clear there is a difference. Let's see here what we got. Will RC, if your lady is watching, that just makes it funnier. Of course it does. Whoop, it jumped. Okay, I think I missed some questions. I apologize, it jumped. Okay, well, there's Peachy's wall of smiley faces. So that's good. No, those aren't smileys. Those are... Okay, Peachy, I'm not sure what you're saying with that wall. Let's see, Bernaldus, what might happen if that individual realizes this and after they die, go back to the draconic realm? Would they be able to rejoin the fold? Born, I never asked that question. That's a dang good question. Because if they're 100% human in every way, I'm not sure how that would work. That's a really good question. I'm going to have to look into that one, Born, and get back with you. Because that is a good question. Because I would think whatever was done to shift them originally could be undone. But then again, I can't bet on that. I can't bet on that at all. Oh, oh, okay, Magician Girl. I see what you're pouting about now. Not a fan of Conway's work. All right, let's see. Jacob, so in your opinion, what happens in the reincarnation? Are you talking about of the entities that choose to come here, like dragons, as humans and then leave? Or are you talking about just in general humans? Because if from what I'm understanding, if they choose to incarnate, once their time's up, they just since they're already a being that can easily just ascend, they just ascend. They can leave the reincarnation cycle by choice, from my understanding of that. And humans, it's you got to work through it until you can get to that ascent point. Let's see, Bernaldus. The whole ideal of other kin thing is that there was these things in the past life, and somehow that bleeds into further incarnations. That is correct. That is the general viewpoint of otherkin. The same with lycanthropes. Generally, yeah, that's a fair breakdown of it. Summary. Let's see, Mystic Lavender White Wolf. I did have a raven fly right next to me, and I seem to be around ravens a lot, but I feel wolves are a spirit animal. But why the ravens? Oh, when is the next planetary dragon video? You can have more than one spirit animal. That is actually something people do not seem to talk about. You can have more than one spirit animal, first off. And secondly, ravens and wolves do work really well together, and they work well in nature, so that you see them in nature around each other a lot. So it's natural that when someone has that spirit animal of a raven or a wolf, the other one will easily follow by. And ravens are all about hidden knowledge anyway. So when it comes to divinations, insight, and stuff, ravens are really great with that, as well as working with the other side in general. As to the next planetary dragon video, I'm not 100% sure. I am wanting to get the Zodiac Dragon video up before I go back and start going into the deep dives on each of the individual planetary dragons video. So I'm hoping to get it up soon, but at this time I can't give a date. I apologize. Allison and Tizana, I am so sorry. Do you know much about dragon fairies? I know Dragon Feather did a video about them. Do you think you'll be talking about them in the future? Dragon fairies or fey dragons? So I'm thinking we're talking about the same thing when I say fey dragons, and I am wanting to do a video on them. They are essentially dragons that work and ally with the different fey kingdoms inside the fey realms, and actually do spend most of their lives there. They are fascinating dragons, and they can be large. Most of them tend to be on the smaller size, but they can still be the larger ones. Let's see here what we got. If energy can't be destroyed, just transformed, it could make sense that the human energy could be transformed to draconic energy. A human soul cannot become a dragon soul, if that makes sense, TC. The dragons have been very clear on that one. They don't allow that. But it would make sense. And actually, chaos dragons, they can destroy energy. That is within their wheelhouse. That's actually what they do. It's just for every bit of energy they destroy, they must also create new energy to maintain the balance. So the equation's always balanced, and there's always the same amount of energy, but they do have it within their ability to destroy energy. Halloween's right. Like I said, they both spend time in nature together. They hunt together. And yes, they are both representative of Odin. And man, is the afterlife for animals different than ours? Um, no, actually, I see animals in literally every afterlife that I've walked in. Animals are there too. Let's see. Ronaldo, so it would be a shame for a dragon to incarnate and never be able to regain that after having a physical vessel. My hypothesis is the same as the soul squeezing a toe-sized measure of. Yeah, no, it is my understanding that if a dragon incarnates, they can go back. It's just that started as a dragon. That would be a different situation for Ronaldo's. But that would royally suck, I agree, if they couldn't. Hey, Dale, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Luna, Fey dragons are so pretty. Yes, they are. They are absolutely gorgeous. They really are. Their color patterns are amazing. Magician Girl 999. How would one find their spirit animal? And can one have a spirit animal, a guardian, and a comac? Well, yeah, you can have a. In fact, you can have multiple spirit animals. That's one thing I mentioned above. People think you can only have one spirit animal. That's not actually the case. You can actually have multiples. And the easiest way that you can do it is through meditation and trance and calling out to it, specifically meditating and focus on drawing in your spirit animal. That said, I do believe it's easier to do it if you can actually get out in nature, or better yet, outside in the environment you're in most. So if you live in a city and the best you can do is sit out on your balcony, do so. That's going to be conducive to being able to draw in your spirit animal, because your environment where you live and spend your time will play a part into what would work best for you at that time. And you may be surprised. It still may be something that would be from a jungle or deep woods. But there is something about getting outside your house that really does help with that, in my opinion. Now, if you are able to go out in the woods and camp and spend the weekend doing it, I would do that. There's something really wonderful about a nice overnight in the woods, for that experience. Jacob, thank you for joining us. Take it easy, man. Have a good weekend. Or, well, weekend's over, so have a good week. Let's see, Mystic Lavender White Wolf, would you recommend me adding a wolf and raven statue onto my altar? Have an elephant and a cat and a frog on there as well, because I connect those animals as well. Yeah, actually, if you've got wolves and ravens hanging around, if you can get you a little statuette or something that you like, I would do it. Yeah. When I kept an altar, I don't really keep one anymore, but when I kept one, I definitely kept those statues on my altar. So yeah, I would actually recommend that definitely. I see, Magician Girl 999. Can you please be my spirit animal? Why not? Black Tower was saying on Magical Coffee Hour at one point that I was his spirit animal. So yeah, well, I guess I can be. All right. So we're coming up on the end of our coffee hour. So if you got any last minute questions, go ahead and get those in there. We do have a new video coming out Tuesday. Now, Tuesday's video, it's one that has been requested a lot. We've had a lot of questions in research and ramblings and here on Magical Coffee Hour about the topic. Tiamat. Yep, Tiamat. We're finally going to be talking about this goddess slash dragon. And me and her actually got to sit down and chat. It's been a while since I worked with her, so it was nice to sit down and make the video and make sure she was happy with it. And she actually gawked over my shoulder during editing too. I don't like editing as is and having someone stare over your shoulder. Not much more fun. But me and her were both very happy with the final cut. And I do hope you all enjoyed that video Tuesday as well. But we do try to answer questions about how the goddess Tiamat fits in with the lore of the dragon Tiamat and why there's a differential and how they're the same also. It's an interesting video that she decided, the way she wanted it laid out. So, all right. Do we have any last minute questions? In the meantime, like I said, remember the 5K challenge? We got to get those subs up. We got to make me embarrass myself, people. Also, if you don't know, we do have the merch shop. Go to workingdragonmystic.com. You can see a tab for the merch, all the coffee cups and stuff we have available, the Dragon's Eye Seal altar cloth, the wall hangings, stuff like that. Go check that stuff out. We even have artwork of all the 9 rulers. The artist worked with the 9 rulers to actually get those made. They're absolutely gorgeous. And it does really help the channel out a lot. Also, you will see the link for the online classes for the school at that same workingdragonmystic.com. And if you go to the About section here on the YouTube channel, there's a link. We'll pop you over to the Discord. We have a nice community over there. A lot of people chatting, talking, sharing their experiences. It's great. You guys have built up an amazing community around the mission of this channel, which is to share this information and get it out to all those seeking, and so that they can manifest results and take charge of their life. And I thank you all for that. You guys are awesome. Now let's see what we got here. Will, thank you for an excellent evening. You too, Will. Thank you for an excellent evening. I love winding my weekends down with y'all. I really do. I look forward to these. Let's see. All right, Radu. I dreamed about you one night. You were introducing me or instructing me on constructing my altar tools. Anyway, I just want to tell you that you are a great teacher and I learned a lot from you. Radu, my man, I appreciate that and thank you very much. Mugs up to you. I'm glad I can be of assistance. Thank you, and thank you for supporting the channel. Mystic Lavender White Wolf, Jessica Rabbit. You know, I'll admit, as a kid, I had a thing for Jessica Rabbit. I think most guys did. And y'all's going to make me do her honor, just dishonor. Oh, dear God. Although, I have to admit, if I get stuck with the Jessica Rabbit, it is going to be so hard for me not to look at this camera and laugh at myself. The entire stream may be me just trying not to laugh, tears pouring down my eyes, because I really don't know how I'm going to look and see myself on the screen and not laugh. I really do not. Giovanna asks, I heard someone say that Lucifer appears to them in a reptilian form. Any thoughts? Actually, yeah, that's a pretty common form. When you look at the draconian magics, I did a video on the difference between dragon magic and draconian magics. They use a lot of serpent and reptilian and draconic images, and the entities they work with, Lucifer included, often take on these aspects. So yeah, it is very common for Lucifer to appear in a reptilian form similar to that, even though he himself is not what would be called a true dragon. He can still take on those forms. Emery's Namu, hello, good to see you. And Tori, I forgot to say hello. I am so sorry you joined us so late. Hopefully you'll watch the replay, because it's been some pretty good questions in here tonight, Tori. Whoa, okay, it jumped. Okay. Arabian Princess asks, how long should I wait for something to manifest before redoing it? That's a tricky one, Arabian Princess, because everyone has their own views on this. Um, Hold on. Okay. Peachy, it flagged your comment for some reason. I don't know why. Let's see here. Okay, so when it comes to manifestation times, um, I try to look at what I'm doing, how big it is, and how quick I need it. So if it's something larger, I do try to give it more time. But if it's something relatively quick and easy, I give it a week or so, unless it's something like I need that day. But for things I need that day, it's usually like gambling charms or something, nothing like life changing. Um, so it really depends on what you're doing it for, how big of a change it's going to manifest, and those kinds of things before you start redoing it. That said, however, let's say you're wanting to do a prosperity spell. You could redo a prosperity spell once a week, once a month, with or without manifestations, because you're going to continually be bringing that prosperity energy in, and more prosperity energy, that's always a good thing. No big deal there. So this is one of those where you kind of do have to evaluate it. And it does go from situation to situation, unfortunately. So if you do have a deadline and that deadline's a month away, and manifestation would only show maybe a weekend or two, you could do it weekly and see if it manifests in that month. Um, but I generally say wait at least 2 weeks on average for things. So if you're doing something that your average spell, average, I say give it at least 2 weeks before redoing it. But obviously that's just an average, and depending on the situation and the spell, that's going to adjust. Arabian Princess, I hope that helps some, because I know that probably sounded confusing as hell. Yes, Mystic Lavender, I did fix the Discord link. I fixed that last. I fixed it Friday actually after the whole kerboppel. But unfortunately, I have to go back and change all the links in every individual video. So I've actually changed all future videos to say go to the About section. And the About section on the channel does have the correct link. And that's where I'm just going to start sending everybody, because I've got too many videos to be going back and changing all those. So let's see here. Hermes says, I just found your channel literally 5 minutes ago after somewhat I think of my first Fae encounters, and I'm grateful for your videos. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm glad you joined us, even if you just found us 5 minutes ago. It's always great to hear that the content I'm producing is helping people out. That's awesome. Thank you. And continue to watch the videos. I know the Fae playlist hasn't gotten too big yet. I'm planning to add more to it, I promise. But do check out some of our other videos, like the Magical Basics playlist and the Dragon Magic playlist, if you're interested in dragons. No, Mystic, with me and technology, it's always good to double check and make sure Drake didn't forget. So I appreciate you watching my back. I appreciate it. It's good to know you guys got my back there. Okay, Peachy, you're going to have to explain to me in Discord later what you're commenting on, because I am lost. I don't know who she is. Bo Gorman, love the background. Thank you, thank you. We picked up a bunch of tapestries in order to be able to play around with the background some more, and I had to get that one. That freaking moon is just awesome. I loved it. Jade, hey, Drake, I'm super late, but I made it. Well, Jade, I'm glad you made it. We're actually wrapping up, but I am glad you made it. Oh, good, Arabian Princess. So that did make sense. Okay, good. Because even hearing me say it, I wasn't sure I was making sense. Dragons and Fae are peeps. Yes, dragons and Fae get along really, really well. They really do. That's the reason dragons do have dragons actually stationed in the Fae realms, hence the Fae dragons. So, yeah, they get along really great. So, if you do want to work with Fae, working with dragons can actually benefit you there. In fact, dragons are how I initially got in contact with the Fae. I probably never would have got in contact with them if it wasn't for the dragons. But then that's also because I had a lot of misconceptions about the Fae, as most people do, which is one thing I got to get more info out there so we can dispel those misconceptions. All right. All right, everyone. Oh, Will, let's see. Do the Fae cast protective circles before they do a rite? Not so much in the way we're thinking. The Fae are magic. They literally are magic. They live, breathe, they are. They don't do magic. They can use magic and do magic, but the way they do it is drastically different than us. So you do not really see them working with circles all that often at all. The only time they'll use a circle is if they're trying to gather up large amounts of energy for something. They use it as a container. They do not need it for protection under any slice of the word. Emrys, I wish I could say yes, but I am unaware of any because so many Fae share so many traits. You might be able to narrow it down to a few choices if you knew its traits well enough. But as far as narrowing it down to the specific kind, I'm not sure you could, unfortunately. Mystic, I kind of got detached from the Fae, but lately I've been getting closer thanks to learning about the dragons. Yeah, I hear that a lot. It's people they kind of drift away from the Fae, and then they start working with dragons, and that natural connection just kind of rebuilds. It's kind of a fascinating relationship. But all right, everyone, we are going to say good night. I hope everyone has a wonderful week, a very productive week, and I hope y'all keep your spell work and your research going. And for those of you doing spells that should be manifesting this week, I hope you get the manifestations you're looking for and or better. In the meantime, I'm going to get back to work, making more videos so I can share more information and getting back to some of my own private research so that we can talk about my shenanigans come Friday for research and rambling. In the meantime, everyone, if you haven't, do jump into the Discord. Say hi to us over there. And also check out some of our other videos. If you're new, we got the Magical Basics playlist. And of course, the Dragon Magic playlist as well. And do keep your eyes out. We are getting ready to launch the free rune class here on YouTube. And that class will be coming out lesson by lesson slowly over time, but we will have the full class uploaded for free. Okay? Good night, everyone. Have a wonderful week. And I really suck at talking and reading, don't I? All right. Take it easy, everyone. Good night.